So that was Pavement, and we're joined right now by Steve and Scott from Pavement to talk a little business and pleasure just before the new album Brighten the Corners arrives in the shops. So the process of recording Brighten the Corners was an enjoyable one? Is it one that you can sum up easily?
No, but I can try. It was fun. It was in a small room, about 15 by 15, and we all crammed in there with all the instruments and put up little dividers between us and slugged it out. Did about 20 songs, and we kept, what is it, 13 on the record? 12 on the record?
12, yeah.
And it's good.
Great experience.
How does it compare to what we've heard from you in the past, like Wowie Zowie?
Well, it's better. It's a better record than Wowie Zowie. It's more, the songs are groovier, and there's more arrangement to them, and
yeah, it's a little more cohesive, I would say. Just like the whole spirit of the song. Wowie Zowie's a lot longer, so it's a little shorter, easier to take. It's got a definite feeling to it. It's not like two different records, or three, which was Wowie Zowie.
Was it one that you went in the studio and you just kind of got it together and then you took a step back and had a look at it and sort of molded it like that?
Yeah. By the time we mixed it, we had a really good idea, and you know what songs we wanted on there, and we wanted them to all fit together, and yeah, I think they really, I think they do.
Well, what does it sound like? The easiest and the hardest question to answer.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like us, still, and it's just got elements of a lot of influences, that we've had forever, and
is it a question of knowing what you've always wanted to sound like and just keep on moving towards that, or having established yourselves and thinking, well, how can we make this different?
Yeah, we're always, I mean, we kind of have a certain sound that we know we have, and
Rule book. We have a rule book. We have a listing of pages of things that we should do and shouldn't do.
Talk us through 1 to 3.
And if one of us goes, oh no, that's rule number 59, says Steve shall not go crazy on the drums when Steven is singing. But yeah, we just go in there, and what happens, I don't think we really try to plan it out too much. This time it really came out nicely.
yeah.
All right. So first video choice of the evening for you is Tinder Sticks.
Yeah.
Quick reason why?
Well, just a great band. They just have this certain aura to them. It's and they covered one of our songs once, so
That was nice of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Handy for those royalties.
Yeah.
So here are the Tinder Sticks then with Traffic Light.
Remember.
Alternative Nation, Steve and Scott from Pavement on the eve of the release of their new record. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
and what I'm thinking is to get you, Steve, to say how you just described very well the sound of your
Off
forthcoming
camera.
album.
I'll say it on
Exactly.
camera now. It's like one of those great days, either in springtime, maybe fall, where you wake up, you got a lot of energy, you got something you really want to do, and you go out there and you do it, and you take a break, maybe have a little lunch, and come back, come home to mom and dad and hang out with them. It's maybe a little bit more of a downer time, and then maybe go out and party a little bit, and then you cap it off late night. It's a late night, probably 3, 4 in the morning. You just have a nice long conversation with a good friend, and then that's it. Go to bed. That's what I think.
Scott, do you think you have a different perspective on a record if you're sitting at the back of the band on the drums, and then if you're up there at the front with the guitar and leaning into the microphone?
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, it's bass here for you.
Yeah, it's crazy back where I am.
Yeah, treblier for me, and yeah.
Just keeping it simple there. No, that's fair enough. So, so the first single, which is actually the first track on the record, which is Stereo. There's the new Pavement album. I won't shine it into the lens. What's that all about then?
Stereo?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a song we've been playing for about a year now, and it's just a nice little. It's kind of like a De La Soul kind of song, like that type of song, kind of
Happy-go-lucky.
groovy, kind of rap
Sun
kind of
coming in your
song.
windows.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first phrase on it is, pigs, they tend to wiggle when they walk. So it starts out there,
yeah.
and
You
it goes
could
all over
hear
the
like a
place.
rap band singing that, you know.
Yeah, it is a little more rappy for us.
Except they would be singing about the LAPD.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're talking
but
about.
we're singing about Geddy Lee instead.
Yeah.
So
Who is the lead singer of Rush. He had his vocal cords altered, didn't he, apparently, so he could sing that high.
is that what it was?
Apparently.
I thought
that's
it
what
was something
heard.
else, but
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. Certainly not voluntarily, I don't think, even no matter how much money you're going to make out of it. So, what are those outside influences that affected the making of the record? Anything? Doesn't have to be music, you know, just...
yeah, well, I live in this old house, 150-year-old house in the South, and we practiced there, and we recorded in another really old house, pretty much in Virginia and North Carolina, and that's kind of in the South, and it was really hot, and we had a lot of, what was it, Mexican food. I think that's what it was.
In the South, yeah.
And so that definitely had some influence on it.
Yeah. And this whole year, I mean, this year was our easiest year because we've been touring for like four years straight, and we finally had about 6 or 7 months off, and we all went our separate ways, and we just mellowed out for a while, and you know, I think that's kind of the sound of the record. It's that mellow
yellow.
NorCal sound, you know.
Yeah.
So your next choice is the Dirty Three.
Yeah.
Why is that then?
Because they're mates. We toured with them a lot, and they're great guys.
They're
I
just
love
an
'em.
amazing band.
Modern
They're the best
orchestra.
band I've seen in a long time. I mean, they're the real, you know, they're rock, you know.
They give a show. They are the show.
Well, when you tour together, do they fit into Pavement slots, or do Pavement fit into their slots, so to speak?
I think we just both bring
Yeah,
together
fits
in the
together
universe.
pretty well.
It's just an attitude, I think, that they have. I admire a lot. Just the way they carry themselves on stage, and their show is full. With 3 guys, too, and it's just amazing.
All right, then, here is the Dirty Three.
Dirty Three.
Build R, I suppose. Is R.
Yeah,
R. There we go.
MTV.
We're going to be touring a bit to support it. All over Europe? What's the plan exactly?
Well, we're going to Dublin on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
And we're starting there and we're just going to do about a week here, and then go back to the States for a month, do some shows there, and then come back for a bigger tour of Europe, and then go back to the States and
do a bigger tour of the States.
Yeah.
And then come back here and do some festivals, and then go to Australia, Japan, and then come back here. So we're going to be doing a lot of touring.
And then take 6 months off. And
hopefully.
Go your separate ways.
I don't know. We're gonna, I think
I'm already thinking that way.
When's it start to feel like a conveyor belt?
Oh, now. Probably in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When we have to get back on the track again. We have a few days off after this English tour thing, and then we get going again, and that's when it'll hit me hard, saying bye to the wife and kids.
Is there a danger when you go off on, as you say, you know, you take some time off and you all go off your separate ways, that you all go so far that it's difficult to come back together again, or does that?
We're already far apart, and just where we grew up in the States is all over the country. So we're far apart, and I just think our general experiences in life and what we've done is what has held us together. And we just gain more influences. I think that's one of the best things about the group, is just everybody's doing their own thing and they all appreciate similar things which holds us together somehow.
Right. Speaking of that, what's Stephen like when he's sick? Is he kind of a pathetic sick, or is he like a crabby sick?
He's pathetic.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty sad because he can't even move his head and his neck. I'm terrible. It feels terrible. He can't even stand up because then he falls, you know, he's just got terrible equilibrium.
He hasn't gone to the bathroom in 5 days.
That's probably more than we needed to know.
Yeah. We can edit that out.
So maybe a wheelchair on stage then.
He might be in a chair. I hope not a wheelchair. That's bad karma.
Yeah.
But
Gabriel did all right.
Really?
Yeah. So what kind of hijinks do you get up to in this video then?
Bobby's the other drummer, and he plays guitar actually, and it's a real thrill to see Bobby strumming, and look closely to see if you can tell that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just pretending. And there's a squirrel in it.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Killer squirrel or just a
little hand puppet.
Yeah.
Right.
It's our most straightforward video, I think. And
what's that?
Lots of
all
leaves.
mature on us.
Yeah, it's very mature. It used to be the original version. It was all animated and psychedelic, but we changed it because we're growing up. And
yeah.
You can't lie to the fans. You have to be yourself, and I'm getting older and more mature, and I hope this is a reflection of my new attitude on life.
There we go, that's the single, that's what it looks like. Stereo from Pavement. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Toby.
Thank you.
And look forward to the tour.
Yeah.
Pavement with Stereo.